I gave a reading to this particular person. He wanted to know, he had many questions and he wanted to know if he would become an actor, if he would become a lawyer or a businessman or a politician. So he has got a variety of things in his mind and he was not able to decide uh, where to venture out. See, in a particular hand, for various field, we look at various aspects of the palm. If the amount of mercury doesn't have too many crisscrossing lines, these kind of lines, it is a good indication to have. If the person has got a good padding over it, again a good indication to have for a person who wants to become a lawyer, because lawyers basically needs more of analytical skills and good communication power to convince others, and simplifying what we have to basically convey, uh, uh, simplifying very complicated issues in the most simple way. So this is how we basically come to know if a person can be a good lawyer. If there's a perpendicular line, again a good indication uh, as far as a lawyer goes. Uh, if these signs which I've just told you, these two or three indications which I've already told you, uh, these are also present in the hand of a businessman. A businessman also needs to convey, like propagate uh, what he wants to sell, and he should be a good communicator. The businessman should also be good at statistics. So this is the area of statistics and maths. And if a person wants to become a scientist, again the same area is basically necessary. If a person wants to become a politician, again the same area is necessary. So various field, but the same amount basically gives us result. If a person wants to become a poet, even poetry needs arrangement of words. So a person who has got a good amount of mercury, he is likely to be a good poet. But apart from that, he needs to have even a good amount of moon. Moon is the area of mind. The visualization skills and the romance part basically comes from the amount of moon. The imagination part basically comes from the amount of moon. So if the headline is kind of leaning towards the amount of moon, it would signify that the person is kalpnik, a visualizer, and at the same time, if the words are also like, he would be able to visualize and rearrange the words and make it more poetic. Many of the politicians are also like poetic, and they are good with words. That is why basically they are able to convey their ideas. But in a politician's hand, the amount of mercury is important, as well as the amount of Jupiter is important, because Jupiter is the area where the person wants to always be at a high position. So, a combination of planets make a person more they become good at that particular field. Amount of Jupiter signifies high position, honor. So if the headline is kind of going upwards, this is a headline. If the this is a headline. If there's a backward kind of a line moving towards the amount of Jupiter, it is a short sign of a person reaching a high position and getting honor. It doesn't necessarily mean the person would be a IAS, that is Indian Administrative Service, or IPS, or a politician, or a police officer. It doesn't mean that necessarily they will become that, but it just means that they would reach a high position. It can also be found in the hands of a businessman who is very much respected. Then we basically see if a person wants to become a good chef. So for a chef, basically this is the area of Venus. The Venus signifies good taste. If a person wants to become if a person wants to become a fashion designer, so again this particular area is important because this is the area of taste. To see if a person is a good lover, loving abilities, again this area. If a person is in the caring field, again this particular area is important. So, we cannot basically say that if a person has got a good amount of Venus, by good amount of Venus we mean no unnecessary lines, crisscrossing like kind of lines, as well as no grill like formation. Just this area needs to have be neat and clean, and if there's a line like this, then it is a positive sign. A parallel line to the lifeline is good. Uh, so, so apart from this Venus to be good, they also need to have good calculation abilities, and at the same time a person should be wise. Wisdom comes from if the heart line starts from the amount of Saturn, and there shouldn't be any negative kind of lines like these kind of lines over the amount of Saturn, because Saturn might bring us losses as well as delays in our life. But at the same time, Saturn is also a very powerful planet, and it gives result provided there's a singular kind of a line or no line over the amount of Saturn. It would give more result. So the person, we basically come to know many of the answers from the questions the client is asking us. If a person is confused, indecisive and not given much of his energies to a single goal, he's kind of like asking, like, can he become a lawyer, can he become a politician, can he become different field he's asking. So the likelihood is it's not a good sign, because the person is basically flirting around. This person is aged 25 and he's yet not decided what he's likely to do. We do see he didn't send a very clear image. He had few branch like things on the heart line. It means flirtatious nature. So the person is basically flirting repeatedly. So this is one aspect we need, this person needs to be careful about. And I would give more readings in a different video on the same palm and show various more indications which the person revealed himself. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, click on the like button. Do subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Bye bye.